How powerful is Cox Internet? So powerful that one day, your daughter will be able to simulate a soccer match against some of the world's best players right from your backyard. Get gig speeds powered by fiber from Cox. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Internet delivered through Cox's hybrid fiber coax network. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions apply.
Why?
If you have T-Mobile 5G home internet, you might be hearing this
Why?
a lot.
Why?
Every time your internet slows down during the busiest hours.
Why?
Because your network gives priority to cell phone users.
Why?
Good question. Why not switch to Cox Internet with 2 times faster download speeds than T-Mobile 5G home internet during peak hours?
Okay.
Stop the whys and visit cox.com/5G home for details. T-Mobile prioritizes certain T-Mobile phone users over home internet users during times of congestion.
I had this really brilliant, delicious tacos in Mexico. Of course, Mexico is the home of tacos, but there's this particular one that everybody was talking about. Even, as soon as I got here, they call it taco al pastor. Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Inspired by Freedom podcast. This is a show that brings you deeper insights into the lives of people who have chosen the life of travel and adventure with the hopes that it inspires you to get out and see more of the world. My name is Daniel Falonipe and I will be your host. And I'm so excited to be doing this today because this is something that I have always wanted to do. This is something that I've dreamed about because honestly, you cannot be a travel podcaster if you don't travel, right? But I've waited so many years to start traveling, and the reason why it's taken me so long, is because of a lot of things that you might be able to relate to about life and trying to, get things in order, or just everyday, thoughts that we have in our head. Some days we just want to, just roll with the tide and just listen to everyone, listen to what everyone's saying, listen to what your family's saying, your friends, and what, everyone generally around you is saying about, just grow up and, start a family, just settle down, go get a job, get a wife, go get married, start having kids. And I must say that I struggled with this a lot. Just like everybody else who has decided to travel, at some point in our lives, we have, heard these things, from the people that closest to us, they just don't get it. Like, why do you want to leave everything? Why do you want to leave the comfort of your own home and just travel the world and sleep out of Airbnbs and hostels and hotels? But as someone who loves to travel, maybe you relate to this, or maybe you just haven't started traveling yet, but you know deep down that this is the lifestyle that you want. This is the lifestyle that you want to choose. You just know that none of these things matter. Just like I realize, at some point in my life, I am currently in Mexico City right now, by the way. And I got here about 2 weeks ago. And this is the very first time that I will be traveling somewhere to leave for an extended period of time. Of course, I grew up in Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria, moved to United States when I was 22, and now was it 22 or 23? 23, I believe. I moved to the United States when I was 23, and now I am 28 years old. I lived in the United States for 5 years, and I've just now started to travel. The wait was for a reason, something that was out of my control. If you are an immigrant in the United States, there's a lot of legal hurdles that you have to cross in order to be able to move freely. But I'm not going to get too deep into that. But the reason why I've waited until now to start traveling is because I just couldn't travel legally. I could, but technically I would be putting myself at risk, which is not something I wanted to do. But all of that aside, I'm in Mexico City right now, and I am really enjoying it. I'm enjoying my first, I would say, extended trip outside of the United States in a very long time. 2 months ago, I was visiting my family in Nigeria for the very first time in 5 years, and that was something that I really enjoyed. But it's not the same when you're visiting somewhere that you've been before, somewhere that I've lived all of my life, and there just isn't anything to see or to do. I mean, of course, there was the joy of, reconnecting with family, with parents and siblings and the people you grew up with, but there wasn't anything more to it than that. So I just knew that as soon as I got back to the United States, that was the time when I would start traveling. And before I got back, I didn't know that it was going to be so fast. I mean, I got back to the United States in August, and I started traveling in September. I had all of these things. I had a car, an apartment. I have so many things I had to get rid of, because I knew that if I wanted to start traveling, it's not something I want to do for 1 week or 2 weeks. I knew I would be gone for a long time, and getting rid of all of my things was the most challenging, I think, of, the plan or the move to start traveling. I mean, how do I get rid of my cars? I had 2 cars I was doing Turo with. I knew that I didn't want to get rid of both cars, because at some point I will be back to the United States and I would need a car to drive around. Or let me just say that I was a little bit skeptical or not very trusting of my move to travel, because I knew that there was a possibility that I could start traveling and not like it, and I would need to get back to the US. And if I got back to the US, I would need a car to drive around. But that's not a possibility right now. I don't intend to go back, at least for the next couple of months. I mean, I'm on my first trip, extended trip right now, and I'm loving it. I don't have any plan to go back next month, or, I'm not having any scaries right now. I mean, I'm not scared. I am absolutely having the best time of my life in Mexico City. And I decided to, come to Mexico City for a number of reasons. I mean, I think the obvious one might be because, it's very accessible, especially to U.S. citizens or permanent residents. You can easily get a 6 months visa when you come to Mexico City. But again, just like I mentioned earlier, it's another way to just start this travel lifestyle that I know nothing about. I mean, I wanted to see if I liked it. I wanted to see that I will be able to work, because right now I work remotely and I still have to, show up to my Zoom calls and, service my clients every single day. And I needed a place that I would go to without having to suffer in terms of internet and, time zones. I didn't want to be 10 hours ahead or 10 hours behind, my regular schedule, because that would be really awful as someone who was just starting to travel. I mean, I wanted to eliminate every possibility of not having my trip go well. So Mexico City just seemed like the perfect location to come to. And just like everyone who's starting to travel for the first time, I did a ton of research. I mean, YouTube was my go-to. Every night I would probably watch about 2 hours of YouTube just researching destinations and just finding that perfect destination to go to that wouldn't hurt my chances of loving the travel lifestyle. But everything has been going well, I would say. I mean, Mexico City has been treating me right. I mean, only except for the fact that it rains every day, and I was just getting to know that when I got here. My Airbnb host actually told me, I mean, this is the rainy season and it actually rains every day, and he actually made me they actually left an umbrella in my room just to make sure that I can be able to move around without having any difficulties with the rain. But honestly, I've just been working, because I still work regular hours and I have clients to service, and sometimes the nature of my work just requires that I be at my computer a lot, and I've not been able to explore Mexico City as I'd love to. Of course, I've been out a couple times, I mean, thanks to some local friends that I've made since I got here, but I would still love to go out more, see the museums and, the historic center. I haven't been to any of these places. I haven't been to any museums. I was at the Chapultepec castle. That's the Castillo de Chapultepec in Mexico City. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. I think that's like the highlight of my stay here in Mexico so far. And I forgot to mention, I had this really brilliant, delicious tacos in Mexico. Of course, Mexico is the home of tacos, but there's this particular one that everybody was talking about. As soon as I got here, they call it taco al pastor, and everyone was talking about it. Oh, you have to try it. And boy, did I try it. And I absolutely fell in love with it. And for the past 4 days, I've been going out to get taco al pastor. So I would work from like 8 a.m. in the morning until like 4 p.m. And I would just, casually just walk out to the city center and just, buy, it's called Taqueria Orinoco. This is a very popular spot. They have a couple of locations, within the city, but this particular one, thankfully is about 10 minutes walk from where I live now. And I just walk casually there and I grab my tacos with this special drink called Jamaica with guayaba. So it's like a fruit drink, like a fruit punch flavored with guava. So that is something that I've really gotten used to since I got here to Mexico City. So yeah, I'm in Mexico City right now. This is my very, very first time on an extended stay. I've been outside of the US in more than 5 years, and over my 28 years of existence, really. And I'm just so excited to take you along this journey with me and, all of the people that I will be talking to on this podcast, because I have some, awesome guests lined up. I'm hopeful that they will honor my invitation to come on this podcast, but I'm very excited and I'm pumped to to bring you all of this adventures, all of the stories from different people from across the world, sharing their experiences and the things that make travel. It's such a wonderful undertaking. So I hope that this first episode isn't all over the place, because I don't have anything scripted. I just, wanted to go with the flow. I tried scripting it, but it just wasn't working for me. I guess I just, perform better when I just go off the rails and, just go off the top of my head. And I think it's been working well. So if this is your first time listening to this, I want to invite you to, subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to it, and just, leave a review, because it helps, with ranking the podcast within the search engine. And, my Instagram, everything, my social media contacts, I will leave it in the show notes as well. If you want to get in touch with me, if you want to connect with me personally, I don't know where I will be going next. I'm here in Mexico City right now. I think I'll be here for another month at least, and I will decide where I want to go. But I have a couple destinations in mind. But what fun would it be if I give it away? So yeah, I think I will be making that known in my in the next episode. And it's just it's a lot of excitement for me right now, because I'm excited to do this podcast. I'm excited to bring guests on. I'm excited to just connect with you and hopefully inspire you to travel, inspire you to get out of, outside of your comfort zone. Because believe me, the best experiences in life are just on the other side of our comfort zone. Whatever makes you feel uncomfortable, it has the potential to, to make you better, to make you stronger, to make you more exciting, to give you more exciting life. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this podcast, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcast from, and I will see you in the next episode. My name is Daniel. Talk to you next time. Bye.